And hello, Iona. I've
Our
missed you so
lovely,
much.
lovely audience.
We were gone for a week. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Spring break. What? Well, anyway, you're listening to Spring Like the Season.
And the first J is not here, but the second J is. But we have a replacement.
Can we introduce our replacement, please? Can you say your name for us, replacement?
He's saying no. He's
Saying
shaking
no,
his
he's
head.
shaking his head.
I'm Benny Rivera.
Do you want a cool
Okay.
nickname? Do you want a nickname?
I mean,
Yeah, we need a
Can we
cool
call you
nickname
Big
for
Ben or
Benny
Benson?
Rivera.
Well, Big Ben, I feel like then you're just calling me fat.
Let
Big
me
Ben,
see.
like the clock tower in England. Not.
Do I look British to you?
You know what? I'll call you Benson.
Yeah,
If you regular
Benson?
regular show
Well,
fans.
we have Benson here. You want to tell us a little about yourself, Benson, since you're
What do you want
the
to know?
first J?
Okay.
What year are you?
Junior. I'm a junior. I'm a psychology major.
Everybody
Cool,
listening
cool,
knows who you
cool.
are.
Oh God.
Let's talk about real quick, like what you're involved in on campus, because I know you're pretty involved.
Yeah.
What am I not?
He's- hey,
Because during Benson's spring break, he was actually in Detroit.
He
You want to
was
tell
in
us
Detroit.
doing what?
Wait, but before we get to that, he's my roommate. Okay, continue.
Because that is some golden news.
Yeah, that's the most important thing we could possibly say during the whole show is that I'm Jay's roommate. Yeah, no, I mean I was the leader for the Detroit Mission Trip team, so I was in charge of keeping everyone safe and getting them on time at different service projects all around Detroit.
Cool. That's not.
I like that.
You did more during your spring break than I did during mine. I have to say, I did absolutely nothing. I didn't benefit anybody but myself by watching Sex in the City for the whole week.
I could say the same thing, but not Sex in the City. I read a lot of comic books,
Yeah,
and
so
I didn't
me
get to
and-
finish it.
Me and Jay were pretty unproductive.
We have-
But
we have big dreams, but we don't do much. But yeah, we're pretty preoccupied.
anyway, so
Gotta
our
strive to be like Benson.
Yeah, we probably should. He's actually really good and great example on campus. But the first topic I would like to hit on today is that a key provision of the healthcare reform law, championed by President Barack Obama, came under harsh criticism from the conservative majority of the Supreme Court Tuesday. Now, that was pretty wordy, wasn't it?
It seemed wordy to me.
Basically, what is going on is, I don't know if you guys have heard about the contraception mandate going on right now, that these two companies, they do not want to cover contraception on their insurance because, you know, there's Obamacare, which is called the Affordable
Yeah.
Care Plan. And these two, I'm sorry, oh, I'm like out of breath. These two companies called
Slow down.
Hobby Lobby and Conestoga Wood, who happen to both have religious they're strongly influenced by Christianity because Conestoga is
religion had
actually
something.
Mennonite. So it's like a form of what is that? Amish. It's like an Amish
Oh, okay.
country sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or like a Mormon. So basically, both of them, they don't want to back these contraceptions, and like they don't want to basically allow this coverage for their employers. So like they don't want to cover stuff like Plan B or like abortions and stuff like that. So how do you guys feel about that? Because they're restricting their employers from these opportunities that are involved in the Affordable Care Plan.
Well, I think it's a touchy subject, but I don't even know where to start. You want to help me out?
I mean, we could talk about it all day if you
Yeah,
want.
we could.
This is something we can't
could.
talk about all
It's-
day.
But it's like,
Yeah.
Well,
I've
let's
never-
talk about the fact that it's the First Amendment, right? You know, freedom of
Yeah.
speech, religion, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's women who like freedom of their body and stuff like that.
Honestly,
Do you think
but-
they're right or wrong by
Who-
not
who's
wanting
right?
the companies
Oh, the
by
com-
not wanting to cover this on their plan, Obamacare plan?
I mean, I feel like you could like argue both sides. I mean, yeah, it's like the companies kind of it's their company, they could do whatever they want, but at the same
True.
time they should be kind of leaning more to help the women out because sometimes, you know, things happen. Sometimes women don't want to have kids. Sometimes they try to prevent to have kids. So
Exactly.
I personally
Or-
don't feel like it's the right move for the company, but like I said, it is the companies kind of say what they want to do with their company and their future.
Yeah, you're completely right. A lot of these what the argument is right now is that the stuff that they're banning, like this contraceptive stuff like Plan B, it doesn't actually prevent the development of an embryo. It actually just prevents the implantation of the egg in the uterine lining,
That's
which I hope you guys paid attention in your bio
yeah.
class.
That's why I'm like, what?
Because it's just basically, you know how the birds and the bees work and the eel in the cave. Well, when
Yeah.
the eel leaves its little saliva in the cave, which is going to sound so weird,
Well,
it basically,
pollinated.
nothing else produced is like going to be like coming out of that.
Yeah.
So it's not an actual fetus that they're getting rid of. It's just preventing the fetus from being formed. So that's
But
like
then
the
that's when
government's
religion
argument
comes
right
in.
now.
That's when religion comes in, where they say that can't happen. You're just preventing life. That's just gonna go on the
Mhm.
big shebang on that. And honestly, like we said, we could talk about this all day.
We can talk about this all day,
And
especially because
we
I'm a
could-
female.
We
So
could talk about both sides, and there's no clear winner.
mhm. You gotta also
you just gotta leave. What can we do?
you also have to remember that it's not only the companies that are covering this, it's also the question of whether or not the general public wants to cover contraception, because my dad made a comment saying that he doesn't want to have to pay for someone else's decision to abort their child because that goes against his beliefs, which he's completely right, like we shouldn't infringe on his religious beliefs, but we're
Yeah.
also infringing on the freedom
Yeah, you
of
shouldn't
someone else's
yeah.
body.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
I'm guessing who are like, which side are we on?
I can't choose a side. I don't know where to go. Cause
I'm not on the employer's side. I feel like they should allow it despite their religious beliefs. Because I'll respect your beliefs, but don't infringe on my freedoms.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I kind of would have to agree with you, Spring, just because.
Thank you. I know.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, I don't
know.
know. I just feel like, who is the company that kind of, like, who do they kind of think they are,
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
restricting women.
you know
in
what?
that
I'm
ki-
gonna
that kinda
agree with
sense.
Spring.
Just because, like I said, I mean, it is their right with the company, but at the same time, you wouldn't you want to, like, support and kind of have a good working
It's
kind of
for the
environment?
people, by the people. You know.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't
Exactly.
I kind of learned this in like my classes. Like, I mean, you would want to have ideally like a good kind of environment to feel
Yeah.
at your company. So if you're
Exactly.
doing this against women, then obviously the women employers are not going to have this like they're not going to enjoy this. They're not
Yeah.
going to like this, and they might encourage them to leave.
No, you
And
convinced me. I'm
The
gonna join
crazy
that
part
side.
is right now, Hobby Lobby, which is one of the cases that they're against having this part in their insurance plan, they actually prevailed with the religious freedom claims in the appeals court because they both brought it to the courts, and Conestoga, the other company, actually lost, which I find interesting. But either way, the fact that they actually like made that step, that they actually anyway, I just got completely distracted.
Yeah, she's just.
That they actually oh my god, what's the word that I'm looking for?
I'm looking at her trying
Anyway,
to
that
find
they
the word
actually
too.
prevailed
Jay
in
looking at
regards
you.
to religion is pretty interesting to me, because right now the main people that are contesting this is the three
Contesting. Okay.
the three women in the Supreme Court justice, especially Sotomayor and Kagan. They're both pretty much against it.
Oh.
They think that the government should allow these plans underneath the contraception, just override the people.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my view on that right now. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys are sick and tired of hearing about Malaysia, as crude and mean that
Yeah,
sounds.
that I don't. When I first heard about it, I knew about it by word of mouth, and then I saw a meme on Facebook, and then some guy posted a picture of like it's a stealth plane. It's like, I'm a stealth plane, and then it shows a
did see
plane.
that, actually.
Yeah, it's just like a plane on the bottom, and it's like, nah, it's like, please. And I was like, and then the person who commented it was like, too soon, and then someone else commented was like, yeah, too soon. And I was like, is it that serious? Or is, like, I know it's serious, people are missing, but
Well,
it's like, you can't, there's no information. Where's the plane?
yeah, right now it's about to be a
Two.
month, just about,
Yeah.
since this plane has gone missing. And I just read last night that a family member actually filed a lawsuit over the missing Malaysian jet flight, because right now they're basically completely frustrated that they cannot find their families. So they contacted a Chicago-based lawyer. His name is Ribbick Law, and he filed the petition on behalf of. I'm probably butchering this person's name because it's spelled January, so I'm gonna assume it's pronounced January.
Oh,
Saragar, basically, his son was actually on the flight, and obviously, the flight's been missing.
Mm.
So the petition that Ribbick Law actually brought up was to seek the identity of the manufacturers of the plane's components, which basically means just to look for people who actually created the plane, or the company who was responsible for not inspecting and providing the maintenance of the plane. So do you really think that they should sue the manufacturers, like, or do you think they're just doing this like just to lash out at the
Well,
fact that
yeah.
we can't find their
The
family
second-
members?
the
Yeah,
second-
I definitely
yeah.
think they're just lashing out.
Right,
Yeah.
they're just trying to find.
I was like, what are you, the manufacturers? What did they do?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they just built the machine.
But it is pretty puzzling because it's not like, you lost your sock, you can't find it. I mean, you're not going to go crazy over it, but how do you lose?
Well, you could lose a sock in a couch. That's gone forever. Think about
Anyway, how do you lose a giant plane filled with over basically, I think, 200 people?
Yeah.
I mean, and
That's
we still don't really know why it's missing. I mean, I remember like kind of hearing about it like last week. Like this one girl who was, because when I was in Detroit, I was with another school. And another school, one of their members was just like, "Hey, they found it," and we were just like, "What? They found it?" And me and like some like my team members were trying to find out like what she was talking about. And they were saying, oh, how they were kind of like kidnapped by pirates, and they were like being held hostage.
Yeah, that's some.
So that's like that's
Somalia
one big
thing.
yeah. That
well,
was,
that's one speculation.
Yeah.
Right
That's
now,
one
they're
speculation.
saying that they actually found pieces, like
Yeah.
122 objects. That's the exact number that they actually found that in the South Indian Ocean, which they're not. It's not really like a huge lead, but I guess it's a start. And then
It's
I
a start.
also read on Wonderwall and MSN, which I'm pretty sure is not a credible source, that Courtney Love actually solved the Malaysian
I
plane
heard something like that,
mystery.
but let's not say this is like true facts, but let's see what. Continue what you were saying.
No, that was it.
That was it. Yeah. Okay.
And basically, they're using a lot of satellites just to try to find and analyze the wreckage data, which, right, I don't understand it. And I'm so
So-
tired of hearing about it in the news. I'd rather that, like, they just lessen it a bit and
Yeah,
just give random
'cause
updates.
It's
But
important, but not that important.
no, it's, I mean,
It's important.
200.
Definitely
No,
important.
it
200
is.
people.
But like, there are other things going on. Like it's been a month
true.
about the story. I'm talking about the story, not
Yeah.
the situation.
Yeah.
The situation, the story should just lessen, and then we should just move on to something
yeah,
else.
'cause it's not like they're reporting any really.
They're not
new.
reporting anything
But
new.
it's
Exactly.
more. It's been more speculation because I remember I was reading an article saying how they speculate that the plane was hijacked and that they just deactivated like the roaming the GPS. That's why you
yeah.
can't find it, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, like we don't know what's going on, so why you just keep repeating the same things? They're pretty much saying we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather them just kind of.
Unless-
Kind of like you said, kind of just not saying that it's not important, but just kind of like lay off, like
yeah, just
you
give
know.
like a little Twitter update.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Twitter.
that's
well,
the
yeah,
only
everybody.
explanation
That's
I
where
could
people
say.
get
Like, just
their
give a
news.
140 character update. Tell me what's going on until you find something that's actually really big,
Yeah.
and then put.
Unless
the
it
news
was like
into more
Oliver
stuff.
Queen lost on an island, but that's a nerd thing.
Well, anyway, considering that it's the 27th and we're actually like, well, blah.
And this was
Yeah.
her. This was her
Yes,
idea. And
this
I liked
was my
it.
idea, and
I
I'm
liked it a
actually
lot.
all flustered while saying it. But since it's the 27th and the 27th actually landed on a Thursday today, I decided the theme should be the 27 Club, which, if some of you don't know, the 27 Club is actually great musicians that died due to either alcohol or drug abuse.
Or
and
natural causes. Well,
Well, for the most part, no, because
yeah, you're
people
right.
don't usually die at 27
Yeah.
natural causes.
True.
So the first person I'm gonna play is actually Jimi Hendrix, which if my
Ma.
friend is listening right now, he will butcher me if I like mess up anything about Jimi Hendrix.
My haters.
But the great electric guitarist actually died at 27 in 1970 from asphyxiation. Apparently he he asphyxiated on his own blood. So basically he pretty much choked on his not his own blood, his own vomit. And he was best known for his electric guitar skills and his psychedelic blues. And the first song I'm going to play from him is If 6 Was 9, which is one of my favorites.
Sing a song. If the sun refuses to shine, I don't mind.